G'day guys, welcome to Man Cave Tuesday. Hope you all had a ripper week. Now what we've got going on in this video is basically we check out what Nate's been up to in the woodshed, and then I do a whole debriefing on that trip from Coober Pedy. So yes, we are back, we made it back safe. So first thing though, but Troy, your missus jobbed you in, mate. Happy birthday, good on ya. All right, now let's go and check out what Nate's up to. So what's Nate up to in the woodshed tonight? Here I am, I bring her out on a bloody holiday, and what do? This is what we look at. This is the scenery. This is what you call heaven.
This is heaven. But look, because obviously we see these all the time, we see that all the time.
What are you showing me? Oh, that's actually, that's not actual railway though, is it?
I don't know, and it's the only one I could see. I haven't had a proper look.
Well, we ain't carrying it because we're...
Yeah, but imagine that would make a really cool coat hook.
Coat hook?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But you won't let me take it.
No, that's it.
You're just mean.
Trying to be lightweight, baby.
Well, you should have left me at home.
So there you go, guys. That's what's going on in bloody Man Cave Tuesdays. Nate in the woodshed, I don't know. Track! All right, back to Man Cave Tuesday. Rightio guys, so now it's time for the debrief. I tell you what, little Pookster was very happy to see us home, weren't you? All right, let's go. Rightio guys, so we have made it home from the Coober Pedy trip, and we've just bloody got home, and I want to give you a quick look at the bike as it is. Good old Harry. So obviously if we look around here, he's clearly all a bit bloody dusty. Now I don't have any major issues. He just purred along the whole way. That was it. The only thing, and I'll talk about, is the oil consumption. We had a bit of oil consumption, which I'll chat about, and it was something that I previously knew about anyway. But there you go. That is Harry. Nothing broke. Yeah, that's it. I mean, this bike has absolutely been a trooper. I mean, I couldn't have bought, for what I use this bike for, and what I couldn't have bought a better bike, I don't think. I mean, I don't know because I haven't, whatever. But yeah, it just anywhere I take this bike, it just says, yeah, no worries, we'll get through it. We'll do it a bit slow sometimes, and but we'll get there and we'll get out, and hoorah. So there you go. Alright, so I'll come back to you as I start to do, and we'll talk about all the bits and pieces, you know, the petrol, the oil, bags, water, all those types of things, what we used, what we didn't use, and stuff like that. Cool. Rightio guys, so on this side, which was the bag that I said shouldn't, if there was ever a problem, that's when we would open it. We didn't have any bad weather or cold weather, so that was fine. I did actually, sorry, the oil. We did use that. I'll talk about that later. First aid kit wasn't needed. Sat phone wasn't needed. Pumping up tyres. The battery stuff, no worries. Didn't get a flat. Didn't have to use this petrol, but on the other side I did, which I'll talk about that. And didn't have to use the water bottles, the emergency water bottles. That's it. Okay, so the bag on this side, that's Nate's makeup stuff. We didn't actually use the cooking stuff because when we were in the, that's some Opal stuff. Used all but one of the up and goes. Obviously didn't use that. Yeah, I thought we might have done a cuppa or something when we were out on those dirt roads, but because it was hot, we were just drinking water or whatever we had, so just never used the cuppa. Didn't use these backup waters, and the petrol, I did use this one twice. Rightio, so now on this fuel side of it, So twice we ran out of fuel basically. Weren't going to make it. So the first time, which this will all be in the video that we do. The first time was coming from Coober Pedy, coming home to Pimba. It was 250 something kilometres, and Harry just started surging about 12k out of Pimba. When I filled up the night before, we'd actually done some riding around at Coober Pedy, so if I hadn't have done that, we most probably would have made it. But we did run out. Hey Presto, put 3 litres in it, and away we were gone. All of like 15 minutes, and we were bloody gone. And then the second time was coming from Peterborough, coming back home, Peterborough to Broken Hill. I wanted to ride the Barrier Highway, and I ran out there. Now that was so. And that was because, what was the town? I can't remember the bloody town. We could have got fuel in Yunta, but I thought this other town was going to be sweet. I'll just grab some fuel there if I needed it. And when we got to there was no unleaded. They had some diesel in jerry cans for people, but they didn't have any unleaded. Again, not a problem. Grabbed out 3 litres, topped it in, got to Broken Hill, all sweet. Another thing to add to that is that previous, which you'll see in the thing, when we were heading to Maree before we got to the dirt, we pulled up at Lyndhurst hoping to get unleaded there, and they only had diesel, so we were okay. We didn't need the extra fuel. We made it anyway. But this is the things that you got to think about, and that's why you should carry the bloody extra fuel. With those cases when you think a town's going to have petrol, sometimes it'll say on the internet that it has the petrol. Lyndhurst, the petrol station that was there, their Bowsers were just taken away. They were gone. The pub who had the diesel Bowser but didn't have unleaded there. So this stuff comes and goes, especially in the outback. When we're at that one heading to Broken Hill, there was actually a Chinese couple. They couldn't speak English. They had a car and a trailer. They'd been coming from Perth, bloody long way, and couldn't believe it. They'd run out, and they were buggered. They were stuck there. The lady at the pub shop thing was trying to get them to go over. I think someone in one of the houses might have had some unleaded, so they might have got out of trouble. But yeah, so they didn't have any spare fuel. They had a chance to fill up previously at the towns before, and yeah, it's as easy as that. So there you go, that's the fuel stuff. Alright, we'll start getting the other bits and pieces off. Rightio, so the tank bag, and then I've got these two 1.5 litre bottles. The only time that we had to use, that I actually put water in these, was when we did the dirt section. So from Lyndhurst to Maree to Williams Creek and then to Coober Pedy, that's when I had the water in that. After that, I just emptied them, so they're just not having that extra weight. I didn't need it. And I think on the last section going to Coober Pedy, I used about 500 mil out of that. So, all right, in here, basically what we'd carry in here is 3 of these waters. So we had 1.5 litres of water, and that's what we got through with while we're on those dirt tracks. Obviously when we're on the road, we'd go for iced coffee and bits and pieces. Had the snakes. I think we had 1 snake out of that each, and that was on the last section. You'll see that in the video. I had the video camera in here, and spare batteries, Panadol, and bloody sunglasses, me clear glasses, all those bits and pieces, you know, the head torches, and then of course in here my spare key, all that. It didn't get cold, so I didn't actually use any of these deep heat things. Always kept my wallet in there, because it's so easy. You forget to do one of these up and your wallet slips out of there, or if you got it in your back pocket, it can pop out. So always lock that in there. Cool, so we'll take that off. And every night, basically, this would just come off like that and come into wherever we were staying. Same with these things. These ram mounts are bloody fantastic. I'll just take these off, take them inside. This camera on here when we were on the dirt roads was just, you know, there's not much footage because it was just so bloody wobbly on there. I finally James, thank you. But I finally, where is it? I finally broke that. But this little rubber thing that holds your phone has been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So, but yeah, I finally broke it. It's done a bloody ripper job. Thanks, James. Rightio, let's get into these side bags. It should be, that's all that we got left out of that stuff. Oh, Nay bought some camel balls. We'll read them out to you later. Rightio, on this side is just our flea snacks, which came in handy. And this back one, we've got one of Nay's hairbrushes and her toiletry bag. Now up in this top one, which we never used, was just basically all the coffee making bits and pieces and the water stuff, which I didn't use. Okay, next pocket is this one. Nay had her shoes in there, Coober Pedy bits and pieces. Oh, now hang on. So I've got the drone in there. Now it was always really windy, and the one time that I got it up, I haven't checked yet, but I don't think I hit record, and I got all this footage at Coober Pedy, just at that where the truck was. I'm hoping it's there, but I don't think it is because it didn't copy it onto my phone. Now, so I brought this, and I mentioned about bringing that to charge the batteries for that drone, but it also had the USB, the two USBs. That was bloody brilliant. So I was able to charge my handy cam with that, able to charge Nay's iPhone with that. Mine was always charged because I had it as my navigation. And what else was there? I think that was about it, but that worked really well. The tripod. Now, I didn't use this as a normal tripod. What I did do is, if you on Facebook, you would have seen those photos that I did. What I would do is just sit that down on the ground. Then I'd get my iPhone and I'd put the iPhone on the ground, leant it against that, and then use the timer of it to take the photo of us in those photos. That's the only way that I used this tripod. It worked. I could have had something smaller, but there you go. Cleaning visors and glass. Didn't actually use it. Didn't use it. There was very little bugs like that. The windscreen. Yeah, this windscreen. I don't know if you can see. I mean, there's plenty of bugs bladder, but that's for the whole ride. Actually, might go this way. That was for the whole ride. Never wiped it once. So from a bug point, we were very lucky. Then the last bits and pieces was charging cables, which I used. The light for the camera, never worried about using that. And then I had some extra zip ties, which I didn't use, obviously. Rightio. This bag just works so well, right from day one. And I'm just very used to using it, packing it. And just getting in and out of certain bits and pieces, it's just so easy. Now, oil. Let's talk about the oil. Right, so this is actually the second 1 litre bottle. I bought this today on the last leg home. Yeah, on the last leg home. I actually got it from Oyun. So, Harry started using quite a bit of oil, and I reckon we'll have a look to see how many Ks he's done. It might be about 48,500 kilometres in total that he's used. I think back around just over, a little bit over the 40,000 mark, he started to use oil. Before, I'd never have to top it up, and I'd just then rechange the oil and away we go. But the last, 5,000 Ks, I've noticing that I'm having to top it up. So I've had the taps checked, and one of my mechanics had a look at it, and he just basically said put thicker oil in it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's all bloody good. So I don't know if that's a thing with as an engine gets older, it may wear a little, or things get a bit more gappy, I don't know, which then allows the oil to get out and burn it. Because, you know, there's nothing leaking out of the bike, and you don't see smoke coming out of it. It just seems to go into thin air, so that's burning it off, obviously, and just small amounts. So in total, I think we used 2 litres of oil, and that was about, I think we'll have a look at that too, I think 3,400 kilometres roughly that we've actually done. So I normally run 10W40, that's what it says to use in the manual, but you can use right up to 20W50 in it, which states that in there. So that's what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to change from running the 10W40 and I'll start using the 20W50, which is most probably, in the area and the heat that we have here, is most probably the better option anyway. So that was the deal with the oil. That was the only major, it's not even a major thing, that with Harry was just using that. Rightio, let's have a look at the kilometres, the stats. So 3,348 kilometres is what we did on this trip, and total kilometres is 47,810 kilometres. That's me and Harry. Beautiful. Rightio, so now he's got a book, a hairdresser, a hairdryer, a brush, her bags of clothing, hairspray, some cigarettes, the knee pads, which we will talk about later, out of Nay's pants, my toiletries, my hoodie, which I only used a couple of times, I think early in the morning before taking off, pair of jeans. This is these are the, well, what do you call it, clothing stuff, which are all now, they're dirties, and my pair of shoes. That's all the stuff in there. Rightio, so that is it. That's all emptied up. Just take my gotcha strap off there. Loosen that. Whoop. Through there. And then this just lifts off. Now, out of my toolbox, I did use duct tape. And I'll show you what happened there. Is, if you can see, I've put duct tape there. I don't know if you can see that. So I've wore a hole. Now that's because using a road bike with road bags on those dirt, corrugation and all that kind of stuff, that's bound to happen. That's nothing to do with these saddlebags. They're bloody brilliant. And it just was rubbing on that point there. So instead of just leaving it and letting that hole get bigger, I just put that on it, and that saved that hole from getting any bigger. I'll clean all that up and just put some more of this stuff on there, and it'll be sweet to go again. Now this board thing, as per usual, does the job so good. It just saves the bottom of that bag, keeps it all nice and level, and yeah, it just works a treat. Nothing undone, so none of the bolts or anything on this, I didn't touch a bolt, a screw, anything. Nothing came undone, rattled loose or anything like that. So alright, what else have we got? So the USB charging thing there, that worked brilliantly. It just kept my phone fully charged the whole time. The breakaway cruise control, absolute godsend. Yeah, that thing is absolutely brilliant. The seats and that backrest, if you ever want comfortability, obviously having a really comfortable seat, but adding a backrest just makes so much difference. Nay was brilliant. She said she was comfy. It was only when we were on that rough dirt stuff that it was the bumping. She had to put her hands down and hold her ass up while we were going through that stuff. Saddlebags, brilliant. I mean, I think that's about it, guys, without bloody just jamming on about just bullshit. Oh, tyres. So there's the tyres there. Still got tread. You know, at some stage I'll bloody get them changed. the real ones. Oh, get in on there. So they're still got tread on them, no worries at all. And I don't know whether I said, but I had no punches. So those Metzler tyres continue to be fantastic tyres in my eyes. So where are we? So they're Metzler, and they are ME880 marathons. So that's the front and the back, and that's the only tyres that I've ever had on this bike. I can't remember if it actually came with those when I first bought it. I can't remember, but whenever I've bought, it's always been those tyres. Actually, guys, there was one other thing, and that is these windshields for the forks, fork lowers, whatever you want to bloody call them. Absolutely brilliant. Loved them. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. So what they did was they stopped all that buffering coming around here. It lessened the noise. I just didn't, like, normally I'm getting this all the time. With them, no noise. Well, yeah, as in way less noise. And the buffering was hitting maybe just the top. I could feel it hitting just the tops of the helmet. And Nay was trying to work out where she was getting the buffeting, and then she was trying everywhere, and she said she was getting it off the top of my helmet. So something that we might do is we might put a fin or a thing on the top of my helmet. That might help her, but yeah. So the Memphis shades, bloody things on the forks, brilliant. Now I'm trying to think of all the questions that people might have in regards to that trip. And I think I'm pretty much covering it. I don't know how much fuel in total that I've used. I'm not going to try and work it out. Accommodation, we paid between $90 was the cheapest, and which was Mildura. On the way back, they gave us, actually, because we ended up staying at the same place on the way back. When we came back, we were going to stay at Pimbra, and then we did really well on making distance and making time. So we ended up doing it a little bit different, and we ended up staying at Peterborough and Mildura in the same motels, and both times we got back they knew who we were and they gave us a discount. So $90 at Mildura, and I think Peterborough was actually the most expensive on the way through. It was $143 there. Yeah, so I don't think, just trying to wrap my brain around any questions that you might be thinking. I'm sure there'll be ones that I'm just not obviously thinking about. Ask them in the bloody comment, and I'll try and answer it if I can. Cool. Just thought of another thing, guys. Accommodation. So the way that we did the accommodation was, before we left, I booked a room at Mildura. That night when we got to Mildura, I would then jump on the phone and then I'd do a booking for Peterborough, which was the next one. When we got to Peterborough, I was looking for a place at Maree. They just had heaps and heaps of available rooms. Sorry about the bloody Nay in the woodshed sawing away there. So I didn't bother booking that one. I thought, no, let's just make sure that we're going to make it to Maree, and then we'll just grab a room. And that was the same all the way home, but that did lead me to, while we were out there in the outback, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I just started editing this and I thought, oh, that's a bloody idea I should mention. There was bugger all people. At any of the stops there would have been, one or two guests there. That was it. So that was really good from our point, because when we go out to places like that, we don't want hordes. You don't want it to be like a tourist destination. Obviously, having that happen is that it's either the off season, or it's really, really hot out there, or it's the wet season where you could get stuck on the side of the road and not be able to bloody go anywhere. It worked out pretty good. It was hot, but it was obviously not deathly hot or seriously bad hot. We did pretty good. So after that we just rocked up into town and then
pulled up somewhere and said, hey, we want a room, and that's where we did. But we came unstuck because we're going to stay at Pimba, but because I was saying we're doing really good times, we thought, nah, bugger it, we'll fill up here and then we'll continue on, we'll get to Port Augusta. We got to Port Augusta, pulled up the caravan park, no vacancies, went across to a motel, sorry, no vacancy. A lady then said, you won't find anything in here, I've already done the ring around, and there's no accommodation in Port Augusta. Port Augusta's quite a big bloody town. And she said it's quite frequent that happens in Port Augusta now. So, luckily, man, it's blowing a bloody gale out here today. So, we had just enough time to make it from Port Augusta to Peterborough and stay in that same motel that we did on the way up. And so, and we just hoped that they were going to have, because it's only a tiny little town. Anyway, so we did it. We made it there in good time, and they had a room available. They actually had still quite a few, but there was a bus there. And I'd say what happens is the bus with the tours, they ring around, and if they know that a place like Port Augusta's out of accommodation, they'll pull up early or they'll divert to another town to then drop all their guests there for the night. So that's a consideration. You know, getting to somewhere that you don't have any accommodation, and if you get there late and you go, well shit, now what am I going to do? I'm going to sleep on a park bench. If you're camping, it's not a problem. But if you did what we did and we were just motelling it, that was it. You can get unstuck by that. So yeah, that's another consideration. Cool. Back to editing. Rightio guys, so now the exciting thing for me is I get to put in some more pins on this board, so because I did new roads. So that's Coober Pedy there, and I've gone, actually I'll bring you over closer. Rightio, so that's Coober Pedy there. So the new sections that we've done is from William Creek to Coober Pedy all the way down the Stuart Highway, down to Port Augusta. Then from Port Augusta we jutted across this section here to Peterborough, and then from Peterborough along the Barrier Highway to Broken Hill, and then obviously followed all the way back down to Bendigo down there. Cool! Well, there you go guys, all the pins are put in. I'm bloody happy with that. So there you go guys, that's Australia. There is heaps more writing for me to do. I mean, let alone there's a lot just in between all this stuff, but I'm getting a decent coverage. So the most westerly way that I've gone is Norseman in Western Australia. The most northerly point is Rockhampton. The most easterly, and you can't go any more east than Byron Bay in Queensland, and southerly is Tasmania, right down to Hobart, right, yeah, down at the bottom. So there you go, bloody brilliant. And all that I can hope for is that I get a chance to be able to put more pins on that board. Cool. Bloody hell guys, I nearly forgot, I also got a Coober Pedy badge, cloth badge that is. I'll just whack it up there. There we go. Cool bananas. Rightio guys, so I'm just going to do a quick talk about these leggings, Kevlar lined leggings that Nay wore on this trip. They had these knee protectors in them. So on the first day, at the end of the day, or during the day, Nay was saying it was feeling really hot on her right hand knee. Anyway, at the end of the day, pulled it off, her knee was red and actually had a lump on it. So we thought, all right, she'll try and, because her other knee was fine, so we thought she'll try and reposition it. Maybe she had it in the wrong position. The next day, exactly the same. Didn't get worse, but it was still the same. So after that second day, she took out the knee pads and never put them back in. Her knee went back to normal, everything was fine. So now, Nay's not the best person when it comes to, she's just down here. When it comes to things like that, you know, things will normally annoy her, like same with the helmets. She always gets the bloody sore thing there. I don't know whether it's the shape of your head. You don't look like you've got a funny shaped head, but
I don't know either.
yeah. So maybe for a normal person having these in there would be, she's laughing. You're normal.
I am.
For other people, it mightn't be a problem. Also, being a passenger, her knee, the way it would be, was a lot higher than what you'd be if you were riding a bike. So that might have paid into it. I don't know. The other little niggle that she had, which wasn't a big niggle, but that was the Velcro. So where these came in, especially on the hips, if you didn't get it right, it would start to scratch you a bit. But you fixed it, and that was fine. Apart from the knee pads, what did you think they were like?
I like them. Yeah, they were really good. And like after wearing them for a week, because we were filthy and we didn't wash them,
Yep.
they didn't lose any shape at all.
No, that's, yeah.
I would probably buy the next size up next time, and that would be so that I could wear stuff under them, like in winter.
Ah.
They're really, really warm, but I would imagine that in winter you would still want to be able to wear something under them.
Yeah.
But if you're not wearing something under them, you want them to be firm anyway, so I think they're great, and I will have more.
Excellent.
So there you go, guys. That's the deal on the leggings. Rightio, guys. I said about these camel balls. Now he's going to read it out because I can't read that bloody shit. It's too small. So what is it?
Camel balls, they're bubblegum, they're extra sour, they're sin-free, and they're liquid-filled.
Liquid-filled camel balls. All right, let's pop it open.
That's disgusting. Waiting for the extra sour.
There's no liquid in it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're sour. Alright. Rightio, guys, so that's it. That's Man Cave Tuesday done and dusted. Hopefully I'll get that video of the Coober Pedy trip done pretty quick. I've already started on it. Yeah, so I don't know, give me about a bloody week to get it done. Alright, so I'll see you next Man Cave Tuesday, that's next week, and or on Thursday with the Virago build. Cool. Keep on riding, and if you ain't riding, keep on keeping on.